Thank you, Kevin. We need to hold China accountable. Congress needs to dive into and thoroughly investigate the origins of COVID-19. House Republicans have been calling on Speaker Pelosi to do this for more than a year now. And that was long before mounting evidence has come out now that, in fact, that this virus may have started in the Wuhan lab. There should be hearings right now. All the committees of jurisdiction should be having hearings into the origin of COVID-19. Yet for some mysterious reason, Speaker Pelosi continues to refuse to hold those hearings, to hold China accountable. Why would Speaker Pelosi want to cover up for China's role in the origin of this virus, especially when every day that goes by makes it harder and harder to get all of the facts that may be available? We know that there are some American scientists who were in communication with the scientists in that Wuhan lab. Let's get all of that information. Let's get the facts on the table. Let's have real transparency so that we can ultimately get to accountability. Because we've seen the devastation in America with hundreds of thousands of lives lost. We've seen globally millions of deaths. We've seen the devastation it's had on our economy. We had the Federal Reserve Chairman Powell yesterday before the Select Subcommittee on Coronavirus and talked about the devastating impact it's had on our nation. Yet Speaker Pelosi refuses to have an investigation into the origin of this virus over a year after the pandemic was declared. Months after emails have now surfaced that show communications between top scientists that this may in fact have started in the Wuhan lab. So House Republicans are not going to sit idly and wait, as we've continued to demand for Speaker Pelosi to have formal hearings in the committees of jurisdiction. We've just announced that Select Subcommittee on Coronavirus Republicans will hold a hearing next week into the origins of COVID-19. We've already invited a number of top scientists. Some have accepted. I hope all ultimately come and accept. We're also going to have some of our colleagues who have been investigating different aspects of the origin. It's long past time for Congress to thoroughly investigate the origins of COVID-19. It's taken such a tough toll on America and the world, but there's still serious questions that linger that Congress needs to answer. Congress should be holding these hearings. Because Speaker Pelosi refuses to hold China accountable, we're stepping up and we're going to do it ourselves. But we're still going to call on her to bring all of Congress together to do this. There's no reason that she shouldn't, and she should be asked that question every day until she finally agrees to work with us on a bipartisan basis and hold China accountable and look into the origins of COVID-19.